The transport scene in Kampala is very chaotic. There's, I think, an accident every day.
Driver witnessed so many other accidents, and now I'm proud that I'm one of the lead advocates for safety for anyone who uses a motorcycle. Our drivers, they have second helmets and good quality helmets.
The transport scene in Kampala is very chaotic. There's, I think, an accident every day.
Driver witnessed so many other accidents, and now I'm proud that I'm one of the lead advocates for safety for anyone who uses a motorcycle. Our drivers,
now,
they have second helmets and good quality helmets.
all that said, we understand Uganda is a very chaotic place. Everything is happening. There is too much traffic. Where are we headed? And as a matter of fact, we've been wondering, or we've been asking ourselves, what could happen to us? What would happen to the Ugandans? And as it stands, right now, I have to tell you that KCCA is said to overhaul all Boda Bodas, taxi operations, and they indeed introduce buses. Now, according to the Ministry for Kampala, Betty Amongi, Kampala Capital City Authority, or what we all know as the KCCA, want to bring Boda Bodas and taxis barred from resuming operations in Kampala for another 28 and 40 days respectively. Now, when the national lockdown was lifted, taxis in parking lots in Nsibambi, Mengo, in Rubaga, Kampala, and Museveni gave a directive to stop all public transport for another 14 days as a measure to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Now, in bid to decongest the flow of the government, they are saying that they want to overhaul the operation of the taxis and the Boda Bodas in Kampala and introduce a scheduled bus services in the central business district. Now, we're looking at Kampala as a central. We're looking at Kampala as a no-go area for all these border guys. They want to let the cyclists continue for some reason, but then they want to send off the Boda Bodas and the taxis. As you can see, this is so much a stress for all the people who think they can continue.
Transport scene
now,
in
look
Kampala
at that.
It's very chaotic. There's, I think, an accident every day.
Truly.
Witnessed so many other accidents, and now I'm proud that I'm one of the lead advocates for safety for anyone who uses a motorcycle.
Check that. Check that. When you look at this so critically, you get to realize, well, I don't know. You can tell me. Is this what we want the world to continue living as Uganda? Is this what we want to have as our country goes on and on to develop to the finest levels? When you check that out, these guys go out fast. They don't care what rule it is. They don't care. They don't even notice this is a traffic road full of that. Look at that. Very, very impressive. Oh no, it is not at all. Not at all. Now, furthermore to what the government is saying, in return to all this, they're saying President Yoweri Museveni on Monday extended the lockdown when all this was meant to include stopping of the use of private and public transport for another 14 days to curb the spread of the COVID-19. Now, what does it mean when they want to come out and say we are stopping the buses? Okay. Now, the minister went ahead and said that if the proposals are approved by the cabinet, again, if these proposals are approved by the cabinet, taxis will be locked out for another 42 days. Alright? When the lockdown is lifted, to kickstart the process, that will only allow public service vehicles that have been registered with the Transport Licensing Board and have paid all KCCA fees. I don't know where they're going with this, people. I don't know where they're going with this. And the other government duties and all meet all requirements and specifications to operate in the city under strict enforcement now. Which keeps me in a moment of let's take a moment. Please, ask yourself. Just ask yourself, what's this? Okay? Now, after the official lockdown, public transport vehicles will only be permitted to move to Works Ministry inspection facilities. Basically, what they're saying is, we let you go out there only to be certified. After you go out of there, you don't carry no passengers, you just go home. Okay? If they want to operate in the city, they must go to the ministry for verification. Guys, my people, this I'm telling you, this is the guy's way of saying, I'm bringing back what we call, all what we want to call, the other tax you all evaded. They told you go for inspection. You all said, nah, it's for the other people, it's not legit. Now, they're saying after the lockdown, if you are ever going to have your car, let me be serious now. If your car is going to go out there and get verified, wait, you need to have your car inspected by the Works Ministry. Now, the same will apply to the potential drivers who shall be properly vetted by the stage leadership they are attached to. Now, we have taxis who bring you back to your suburbs every day you go for work and you return, then they take you home and pick you. Those cars, the private vehicles or these private buses, they have to be vetted by the stage leadership they are attached to. Now, that will attempt to breach the process. Anybody who will attend and try to breach the process will be fined. Now, the minister Amongi said in her document, she went ahead and said that the proposals, get me right, the proposals will be presented to the president and the cabinet for approval. These are not yet verified, but this is Uganda. We all know once something is presented to the president, we know there is, like somebody said earlier this week, there is no cabinet, there is no parliament, there is only the state house, there is only the president. Now, they are saying we shall issue a statutory instruction or an instrument that shall streamline and regulate operations of commercial motor vehicles in the city. Now, what do they mean by that? Let's take a moment, guys, and think about this. You get, approve all Boda Bodas stages and also gazette them as such. Basically, we are having to seize all the Boda points in the city, and that will be actually normal. You don't expect any Boda Bodas laundering around the city. Take a moment and think to yourself, what does this mean? Are you a Boda rider? Do you have a private Boda? Have you managed to buy a Boda during this lockdown? What does this mean to you? What does this mean to my fellow Wananchis? What are we going to do? They are saying you only have to move by the vehicles provided by the government. You don't work of the government, but then you have to move by the government rules and regulations. Take a moment and think about that. What do we think? What do we think? Because they are saying the Ministry of Works will specify the vehicles. They will specify the type of vehicles to operate specific routes. You cannot just come from Kampala, then you go to Jinja, no. Your car might be moving from Kampala up to Mukono. It cannot proceed to Jinja. You get? Adding to this exercise will be reviewed annually. Basically, that means, my people, we are paying annual fees. Forget this Akina Express, what we paid for, as in road toll. That's done. Now we're going to be paying for routes. You want to take which route? You pay. Since we don't have flights, now we're going to be using the road. There he goes. And as you understand, many people are coming out to argue about this particular statement. Why do you have to lock the Boda Bodas? Where are the guys of the Boda Bodas going to go? What are you going to do about the taxi guys? Okay, if they're not going to continue working, what are you going to do for them? What's the plan? Nobody's sharing. Nobody knows. Nobody tells. So, my people, that's where we are. You can tell us in the comment section what you think, because some of us apparently, what we call, not so pleased. not so pleased. This I can tell you, not so pleased whatsoever. This I tell you, not so pleased. Now, this is leaving every Ugandan to think what their future holds. You all remember, huh? The city bus project. On Tuesday, Amongi, together with the other finance minister, Matia Kasaija, presented the $12 million loan request to the Parliament Committee of the National Economy. We've been on a shutdown. This guy comes with his briefcase, as we all know he does. Come with a briefcase and move to the Parliament to show people we need to borrow another extra $12 million. If you want to turn that to Ugandan money, you can calculate that by 3,700. You can know. Times 12. You know what you get. You get. Now, the $12 million loan is part of the bigger loan amounting to around $275 million, which is around 900 billion for Kampala Capital City Roads project. 900 billion. Ugandans, you have to pay 900 billion to facilitate the road construction. But now, you have to pay for the routes as well. And that is according to your finance minister, Matia Kasaija. Check that out. Now, this is the funny part. I'm coming to the funny part. She said that 40 billion of the bus services is a small component of the 900 billion Ugandan shilling project. Now, that is meant to have dedicated bus lane. Dedicated bus lane. I don't know what these people think about us. And these bus lanes are applying to what? 15 kilometers? Corridor? I don't know. Maybe. From the Constitutional Square to Ginger Road to Nakawa Junction to the dedicated Bokoto to Kamocha, Mulago, Wandegea, back to the Constitutional Square. Now, this is what she says. A zone will be dedicated to buses. In the CBD, the Central Business District of Kampala, which will be a no-go zone for the Boda Bodas and the taxis. Okay, now KCCA will manage the system, and we are about to start the renovation of the oldie taxi park. Now she's saying we are about, but I want to tell you, all you guys at home right there who are not able to move, this is what's happening. The park is a no-go area, no more. It's having construction going on. I don't mean a new taxi park. I mean a whole new building structure going on in your favorite oldie taxi park. Now, where the modern bus terminal will be constructed, they're saying we are killing the oldie taxi park. And they're telling us they're putting up a bus terminal. But we know, who have been on ground, that there is no such a thing as a bus terminal. The land already has owners. It has titles, of which the owners are already putting up structures during this lockdown. Okay? Now, Minister Amongi, Minister for Kampala, I don't know what we have at our hands. I don't know what you want with the Ugandans. But I gotta say, on this channel we tell the truth. We don't care about what you think, what you want, but we are all about the truth. Okay? We don't care. We don't think you care even for what Ugandans are going through. But we are going to tell you what we think. And please, all Ugandans who are seeing this right here, please, just tell us what you think should be done about our dear minister. And she says, you can't just wish away the people. Okay, you can't really wish away the people. We shall try to engage over 8,000 riders and are on the verge of losing the source of livelihood or livelihood. Now, you can't tell us, honestly, that you don't have a plan for Ugandans. You want to evict them from their own source of income, but you don't have a plan. What's that? Where are we headed? What are you saying? Minister? What are you saying? Which keeps me wondering, what kind of idea, brilliant idea do you have in your grimy head as a minister to tell us you cannot create jobs, but you're killing jobs? These are the people we elected to take us forward. As you can remember, we said by the start of the year 2020 we will have hit the middle age or middle income state of the economy. This is not happening, and it's not happening anytime soon. Now, the KCCA, I'm moving forward, guys, and this is a disturbing part. The KCCA director, Engineer Andrew Chitaka, noted that the bus project is a pilot study, okay, and that will be managed by the private entity. So, somebody is getting a deal to bring in buses. Let's not pretend to be managed by a private entity. No. This is a government project, but for some reason they think we need to get a private entity. So somebody has given the government their money, alright? After giving the government that money, now the government is giving them a tender to bring in buses, while they are killing off the opportunity by the other Ugandans of bringing the buses. So, what do we have? Some guy, rich guy, gives government money, government gives him tender, all the other Ugandans suffer. The 95% of the Ugandans that are suffering are going to continue suffering even more after the lockdown. And all they are saying is, we are giving it to a private guy to handle business. So this guy is at liberty to charge us what he wants. Do you think about that, government? Huh? Do you think about the fact that we have to suffer because you go on and on to give the tenders as you wish, while putting no leverage for the rest of the guys? So you're taking back monopoly so that these guys charge us the prices they want for as long as you get the money. Or should we call it the monies? Okay. Now, I want to ask, what are other players saying? Huh? The chairman, Board of Drivers and Conductors Central Association, okay, Mustafa Mayambala, said that streaming of transport is welcome. It should not suffocate, again, it should not suffocate transport operators. Take an example. When you look at this video, you see Boda Bodas, all the guys you're seeing at the very front are all losing their jobs. The taxi drivers who are moving Ugandans from their homes to their workplaces are losing their jobs. And what do they have to show for us? Huh? That they're doing change. They're growing the economy. They're doing everything they can. Are we numb? Are we stupid? Huh? You can let us know what you think as we continue. Okay. Now, according to the Kampala minister, Madam Betty Amongi, taxis will not lose out on the business because they will have a designated route, which is not in Kampala where everybody comes to work. So for that big money, we are giving it out to the other people to work. Our private entity. For you, you'll be working alongside these other guys, which keeps us wondering, what do you think? What's in your mind? Guys, what do you think? Give us your responses. You get? And then the government's proposals are more of directives. More of directives. What do we do? Ugandans, my fellow Ugandans, tell us what you think. We await your responses and maybe suggestions, because on this channel we speak our mind. This is not political. This is a Ugandan person suffering down there. This is a Ugandan person going through all the mesh. So, as you are out there listening to this and watching me speak to every person in the government, no one is going to fear to say what is happening. No one. Tell us what you think. And please, subscribe to our channel,